And welcome to the Charron Zone. I've got another mini podcast here for you. This little series here that I'm doing is all about gaining fans. And this, other than booking gigs so that you can gain fans, is, in the long run, the most important thing that you're going to do in your career, in my opinion. It's very simple. The more fans you have, the more you can drive your own career, and the less you would have to worry about trying to get a record deal if you can get enough fans, play enough shows, get enough gigs, make enough money. You can make enough money to live as a successful musician and build your fan base, build your fan base, build your fan base. So, here's just a quick little story. We were performing at the Rhode Island Seafood Festival. I'm originally from Rhode Island, so we were performing there over the summer. It was a full band show, and I just simply, a lot of my music it's my genre. My tagline is country rock with a twist of lime. So I mention over the mic that I spend a lot of time in the islands, a lot of time in Florida during the winter, and then I'm in Nashville other parts of the year, and then, I tour a lot. So this couple that were at the Rhode Island Seafood Festival, I guess they heard me, so they came up to the merch booth, and they were asking Smidge, Nicole, because she was selling the merch, where I go in Florida. And they happen to be, and this is a different couple, but they just happen to be living in Fort Myers. I guess they were originally from Rhode Island. They were in Fort Myers. So, living in Fort Myers now. So, they bought the CD and everything, and then they were like, oh, okay, great. Where can we go see him with the band? And every year we play at the Everglades Seafood Festival, which is in Everglades City. It's a couple hours from Fort Myers, but it's pretty well known as a pretty big festival, big country festival. So they said that they were going to come and support us at this big festival down in Fort Myers, Everglades Seafood Festival in Everglades City. So again, we gave them a card. We make sure that we have the social media information to my Instagram, to my Twitter, to my Facebook being the most important because that's what I use the most. And you give them a card so that they can, at their leisure, they go home or whatever, and they're like, oh, okay, we'll look them up and add them, meaning us, the Tim Charron Band, or me, just Tim Charron, add them on your social media. So I guess the point is, make sure that you are, you talk over the mic a little bit in between songs. You talk about what kind of music you do. You talk about where you tour. Real quick. It doesn't have to be laborious. It doesn't have to be a big, long monologue. It can just be, introducing this song because I love the beach. I live part-time in South Florida, and I live part-time in Nashville. So it happens all the time. People come up to me after shows. Oh, it happened the other night, actually, down in Key West. I mentioned that I live part-time in Nashville. Somebody came up afterwards and they were like, oh, I love Nashville. I was just there a few months ago. We started talking, and I simply said, hey, here's a card. Bring it with you. I'll autograph it. Bring it with you and get on my social media. And that's how you gain fans, one at a time, two at a time. And at the Rhode Island Seafood Festival, there was, I don't know, maybe a couple thousand people there. So if you can gain 10, 20, 30, 100 fans that are real fans, they're going to follow you and come to your shows all over the country, wherever they happen to be, man, that's powerful. That's incredibly powerful. Check out the whole concept of 1,000 true fans, or whatever it is. I forget who wrote that. I don't know if it was Seth Godin or Derek Sivers, but check out, just Google 1,000 true fans. That's all you need to have a very, very successful and happy independent music career. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, do me a favor and put them under here. If you're on YouTube, and if you're listening to this, post them, send them to me, send them on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever. I want your questions so that I can answer them to the best of my ability and just tell you what I've gone through, and hopefully save you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and just help you to understand all the mistakes that I had to make and go through, and the whole process, so that you can jump right ahead to the line and start building up your career bigger and bigger and bigger, and hopefully make it to the big stages. All right, thanks so much. Please do me a favor and subscribe to the Charron Zone on iTunes and on YouTube.